it's official. Donald Trump has been sentenced by Judge Merchan. His sentence has been imposed. I want to break down what went on in sentencing and what was normal, abnormal. I'm Eliza Orland's career public defender for 15 years in Manhattan, and let's talk about how this went down today. So first of all, Donald Trump was given the opportunity to appear virtually. That is very unusual, especially for a felony sentencing, especially after a jury verdict which convicted someone of 34 counts. But of course, this was a very unique case, and Judge Merchan had already indicated what he intended to sentence Donald Trump to, and that is in fact what the district attorney's office even recommended as a sentence, and that was an unconditional discharge. That means that the sentence is imposed, but there are no preconditions. There's nothing that comes along with it, just simply the conviction stands. Now, in every case where a sentence is about to be imposed, the defendant is given an opportunity to speak, to address the court before sentence is imposed. Typically, in a case where the judge has promised such a lenient sentence, i.e. an unconditional discharge, the defendant would not say anything. The lawyer would say, please don't say anything. This makes no sense. There's no reason for you to say anything, especially if they intend to appeal the conviction, which it's my understanding Trump does. However, Trump decided to utilize the opportunity to call out what he believed was a political witch hunt. ADA Steinglass also addressed the court and said that far from expressing any kind of remorse, the defendant here has bred disdain for our institutions. He's not only been held in contempt in other matters, but this court found him in contempt for 10 violations. His dangerous rhetoric was intentional and reflects a threat to the rule of law. I mean, Steinglass really went in. And finally, before sentence was imposed, Judge Merchan addressed Trump. He said the court is vested with broad discretion to choose a sentence, and in his time on the bench, he's been called to make this weighty decision in countless cases, and the task is very difficult. However, never before has the court been presented with such unique and remarkable circumstances. There was extraordinary public interest, and yet when the doors were closed during the trial, it was no different from the ordinary trials that happen every day. The same rules applied, the process was guided by the law, the court staff and the officers did their job as they would with any case. Then Judge Merchan went on to say that the legal protections offered by the office of the presidency is in fact extraordinary, not the office holder, and it is his obligation to consider mitigating and aggravating factors for any defendant who appears before him. Here, the extraordinary legal protections offered to the office of the president are the overriding factor. To be clear, it does not mitigate the facts of the case or the jury's verdict, but it is a legal mandate that this court must follow. Through that lens, this court must determine a lawful sentence. After careful analysis, the court determines that the only lawful sentence that permits sentence without encroaching on the legal protections of the presidency is an unconditional discharge. Therefore, I impose that sentence. Okay, sentence is imposed. Donald Trump is a predicate felony offender now. If you want to hear more about that or anything else, please feel free to leave questions in the comments. I will try to update throughout the day. And thanks for being here. Make sure you're following for more.